Glad to have you back. Yes, the show is still Political Spectrum, reaching you live from the beautiful hills of Ibiakuran here in Akwa Ibom State. And this conversation is live on our different social media handles on Facebook, also on Instagram with the handler SpectrumTv. Yes, we'll be talking about the government's intervention on the internally displaced Akwa Ibomites in Katsina State due to insurgency and banditry in the area. Now, that is one lofty move made by the Governor Dom Emmanuel, to intervene in that regard, because like Jenny said, you spoke about the inconveniences at the IDP camps.
Yeah,
now, we have been joined on call on this conversation to share his thoughts with us by a public affairs analyst, Supreme Okmon. Good morning to you. Hello, Supreme. Good morning.
Good morning to you.
Yeah. You heard the basis of the conversation. What are your thoughts on that?
Owning up to, given to the situation of things in the northern part of the country, calls for serious concern. The level of insecurity activities taking place in some of these states call for serious concern. One, we'll need to take a serious step in order to cushion this insecurity in the life of Nigerians, precisely people that are from other states like Akwa Ibom. So Governor Emmanuel extending such gestures to those people in the Katsina state is a welcome development. It shows that the government of Akwa Ibom state is empathic, and then you understand that he cares for the people of Akwa Ibom state beyond the shores of Akwa Ibom state as a geographical territory to wherever they are on the surface of the earth. And so I believe as a governor that he will have more lofty plans as how they will be empowered upon their arrival in Akwa Ibom state. So it's a good development.
Okay, so it's one thing to bring these people, internally displaced people, back to the state. It's another thing to make sure that they are reintegrated into society. Now, what measures have been put in place to make sure that that happens for these people when they come back?
Please come again. I can't hear you clearly.
Okay, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Hello?
I can hear you now.
Okay, so I said it's one thing for the government to be pathetic enough or empathic, to bring back these internally displaced people back to the state. But it's another thing to make sure that there are modalities to reintegrate them back. So has that been done?
Yes, I said something. That was my end note. I believe the first thing is to bring these people back. And then he will have to look at the modalities on how they will be empowered and how they will be sustained over time. Because he talks about a kind of, you don't need to consider IDP camp. Some of these people, they have families in Akwa Ibom state. So all what they will need is to maybe start up funds or capital to maybe to start up their business. Some may not even need that. Some may just need a means of how to relocate their existing business and other things back to Akwa Ibom state. So we have to look at this thing in a very strategic manner to know who needs what and who doesn't need what. So I believe that Akwa Ibom State, who has expertise as some members of the cabinet, the executives, will do their best to make sure that these people have a self-welcome and an empowered welcome back home.
Well, in as much as that is so, some of the persons have a different opinion to this, because they believe that this has been ongoing in the north as far as insurgency, banditry is concerned. And this is not the first time we are having Akwa Ibom citizens, displaced in Katsina or in the northern part of Nigeria. However, they seem to be misinterpreting the actions of the governor, that this is coming because of the political season. Do you agree with this sentiment?
Please come again. I can't hear you.
Okay, well, now the thing is this. There are people, some persons are of the opinion that this is coming amidst the political season, to gain some sort of, favor from the voters, because to them, according to them, they said that the situation on ground is not starting today, that has been the situation for a lot of Akwa Ibomites who are resident in the northern part of the country. Do you share this sentiment?
You're talking about the people that are outside the country.
The gestures of the governor. A lot of persons seem to misinterpret the gestures of the governor towards, showing, trying to sympathize with these people and maybe bring them back to the state. Do you see that as a move inspired by the political season?
Seriously, I can't really hear you clearly. I heard your voice,
Okay,
but I can't hear what you're saying exactly.
Oh well.
I can't hear you.
We're sorry about the network problem, but I sure do know that it will be fixed in the long run. But well, you never can, you never can know what the people would say.
Definitely.
Like former Senator Dino Malaya would say, you lie, you die. You say the truth, you die. So whatever you do, it's still going to be, interpreted either the wrong way or the right way. But one would say ordinarily that this is a nice gesture coming from Governor Dom Emmanuel. But what are we saying? They're saying it's a gimmick of to gain power or to retain power. Or maybe transfer power to his preferred successor. Maybe I hope we'll be able to explore some of this if we can speak back to Mr. Supreme Okwen. Hello, can you hear us now?
Okay, I may not be able to get all what you're saying. Are you still talking about bringing the people from Katsina back to Kwai State, the impact, the empowerment?
No, is it political? Is the move by the governor, is it political or not?
It's not political. It's not political. It's not political. It's not. It is the responsibility of the government to provide basic needs, shelter, security, welfare, to look after the welfare of the citizenry. So the citizens of Akwa Ibom State are spread across the length and breadth of this universe, of this world. So it is the duty of the governor as the chief security officer to look after the welfare of Akwa Ibomites wherever they are.
Okay, well,
wherever they are. So for him to have extended his kind gesture to the people in Katsina to say, look, we are bringing you back home. And nobody should dare to politicalize that, because it's the right step in the right direction. Rather, people should support the governor's move by volunteering and making provisions. There are private sector that can as well partner with the government. There are other individuals that are well-to-do that can as well support that move. So instead of them to say that this is a political motivated kind of support or welfare, they should see what they can do to support these people. Eventually, when these people return back to Akwa Ibom State, there are people that have more than one or two buildings in different locations, some occupied, some not occupied. They can as well extend the same gesture to this individual to have a place to start up again. In a good society, when a governor makes a move like that, other meaningful individuals and citizens they have to support, because what the governor is doing, strictly speaking, is not political. Rather, I will call it humanitarian.
Well, you
it
said
cares about the well-being of Akwa Ibomites. He cares about their security. He cares about their safety. He cares about their existence, whether in Akwa Ibom or not in Akwa Ibom.
Okay, Mr. Supreme.
Safe.
Mr. Supreme, but let me follow you up on that. Can you hear me? Now, you said specifically in a good society, that is what should happen. Now, would you say Akwa Ibom falls under that description?
Now, for example, the governor has already taken the right step in the right direction to show that he knows what the people of Akwa Ibom State deserve and desires. So he's leading us right in that direction. Nobody should politicalize that move. Rather, we should all put our hands on deck and see how we can support him and support the returnees as well.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mrs. Supreme Okmoy, for sharing your thoughts with us on the show.
Oh, all right. Nice talking to you.
Okay. Have a nice day.
Nice talking to you.
But well, Janice.
Yeah, it was nice listening to him. Okay, so I think I want to share a little bit of what he said. It's not everything that we need to politicize as a people. Okay, so if there are people in Katsina State from a particular tribe that are internally displaced, and it's not, let's not also forget that it's not them just being internally displaced. They are going through a lot. at the IDP camps. And that's why I think there's this outcry, for them to be relocated back to their bases. But it's a good thing to do. That's what any civil government must do, relocate these people. But where I have a problem is they can also come back to Akwa Ibom State and still be internally displaced. So the government should, first of all, put on ground modalities to reincorporate those people back, to make sure that they have a living when they come back. Because it's one thing to bring them back, it's another thing to make sure that, look,
another
their
vital
livelihood is supported.
Another vital point he made was the fact that well-meaning individuals can actually donate to this cause. I mean, if you look at what is happening in Ukraine, if you look at what is happening in Ukraine at the moment, you see that a lot of individuals, NGOs are donating, to give that immediate succor of what the citizens need, those that are trying to, migrate from Ukraine. And they need like these ones that are going to come back, they will need clothing. Absolutely, they will need it. And they will need some items. They will need mattress. They will need residence where they can, temporarily stay before they get to reunite with their families. Because you won't agree with me that a lot of times people travel and leave the shores of their domain, and for over time, maybe decades, 10 years or more, they've really not been able to come back. Possibly they can't even identify their families. There are people like that. And now they're coming back. You don't know whether they have a space to stay in their family compounds. So I think buildings would need to be, or maybe another IDP would need to be built to be able to, if we must do the right. And of course, it might not be solely on the government. I know there are NGOs around, church. I know we shouldn't leave churches out of this. I mean, well, what a church is for. They can also lend a hand by way of whatever they feel they can do. I think all hands must be on deck to ensure that Akwa Ibomites that might be relocating back anytime soon here would have a proper reintegration back into the society.
Definitely. And then it also very quickly now brings me to mind of why the government of Katsina State will leave the people in IDP camps to be suffering. Let's also not forget that it wasn't by their own making that they ended up in IDP camps. So I think the government of every state must take responsibility of those that are internally displaced due to maybe some kind of security breakdown in those parts of the country.
Well, it is what it is. And I think we want to, at this point, extend our condolences to Dr. Chinelo, who actually lost her life. I know she tweeted moments after she got shot. She said, "Have been shot. Pray for me that I survived this." And I know a lot of things with social media. I think it's about time Nigerians begin to take social media serious, because she made that post. A lot of persons didn't quite agree with her, and hours after she was declared dead. And they were like, oh, this was actually true. This was actually serious. I know we've had a couple of times where people will come online and make sentences, statements that are suicidal. And I think that's about the time to go check on that individual and see if actually this is true. And rather than castigate and write comments that are demeaning and all of that. And my heart really goes out to the doctor, the very young doctor who lost their lives in the Abuja trial. But well, may so rest in peace, and we hope others that were injured quick recovery, and also a safer Nigeria for everyone.
Yes, it's a safer Nigeria for me.
Well, it is what it is. Thank you very much for watching Political Spectrum today. It was nice having you at the other end, and the key word today is a safer Nigeria is in our hands to ensure that we see that through. My name is Otobasitam.
And my name is Janice Coburn. You have a fantastic day.
Bye for now.